This is my presentation on the effect of a disruptive microcycle in elite youth football on high intensity running during competitive matches. So it's basically an outline of my applied research project. So the background. So what's the question? Does a disruptive microcycle in elite youth football from an A-League team at NPL level result in a decreased physical output, in particular high intensity running during competitive matches during the NPL? So basically what we're looking at is, once the A-League team returns, is it having an effect on the physical output of these youth players in their matches? So whether that's based on loads, doing extra training, disjointed weeks, players going here and there, or is it a factor of well-being and stress that could be affecting them as well? So we're going to be looking at all these different things. So some of the practical implications that we're looking at are to anticipate that physical output may drop for NPL players during the return of A-League pre-season, allow the club to better manage the NPL players upon the arrival of the A-League pre-season, allow the club to plan loading more appropriately for individual players upon the return of the A-League, better monitoring fatigue during the season, better managing the talent list to ensure there's clarity over a youth player's status. I think that's a big one as well, because some players will lose motivation if they don't feel like they're going to get to that level, especially once they return. And then also giving knowledge to the coaching staff that performance may drop during this period, so just to expect it, which can help maybe tinker with the tactics as well. And then obviously just a better understanding for coaching staff about the physical impact that the first team has on their youth team players. So just a few slides just on the research. So basically what I'm looking at is the demands of the game and high intensity running, and then a few other factors that'll come in the next slide. So Solon, Jamadi Castagna, they looked at game intensity. So basically acceleration, high intensity, decels, sprint distance in football is at a high level, especially when you want to win games, which is what Bloomfeld found in 2007, looking at successful teams cover more high intensity running. So just to sort of validate the fact that it is really important to results. So if it isn't high, then results may suffer. Bradley et al. Also looked at running intensity will determine results, so similar to Bloomfeld. And then a good study here by Rampanini looked at more successful teams covered effective high intensity running. So that was a study from the Serie A during matches. So again, just validates the fact that high intensity running is really important to results. The research that we're looking at, so just recovery, so it just highlights the importance of recovery on performance. So whether that was a factor in dropping off the high intensity running. Training, so obviously a famous study there by Gabbard 2016, looking at consistent high chronic workloads will build a robust athlete to perform greater high distances at high speed. So basically, if the week is disjointed, maybe they're not training enough, maybe they're training too much, then this can have an impact on their capacity to perform at a high level. And then obviously just the well-being, so the stresses and the impact on performance, in particular physical output. So the players may not be getting chosen for the first team, maybe they feel the stress of training for the first team that could be causing them to drop off their high intensity running during football matches. So the participants, basically 18 elite male youth footballers aged between 16 and 20 from the same professional football team. They'll all be completing informed consent to be part of the study. I won't publish any of the names just because it's a confidentiality agreement with the club. Participants involved in regular training 4 to 5 days a week and about 2 to 3 gym sessions a week as well as a game. So, and that can change from 1 to 2 extra or 1 to 2 less depending on their involvement with the first team. So in any given week, the schedule remains the same as per the fixture, and the matches are always played on a weekend, so a Saturday or a Sunday. That's it. So the design, so basically it's going to be 12 competitive games we're going to look at, 6 pre-A-League return and 6 post. We'll be using compare two group means Excel spreadsheet to have a look at what the magnitude of difference is between these two periods. We'll be hooking up every player with a GPS unit provided by the club to actually gauge how much they're running. And then obviously looking at the high intensity distance in metres on average for the team for that given match, and then see what the average is pre and post to see was there an effect. So just the overview. So basically, it's going to be pretty consistent. So 25-minute warm up, performed incorporating all different parts of the game: acceleration, decels, high speed running, before the game. Players will always be monitored by GPS, and they'll play varied minutes dependent on the coach's decisions. But basically, we're going to look at meters per minute to gauge how much high intensity they're running. So averages of like I said before, averages of the high intensity distance will be taken for players only playing the full match, and each game will last anywhere from 90 to 98 without a time. So I've just incorporated a little table here that basically covers what I've already got the data so far. So six matches high intensity running averages versus 6 posts. So you can already see where the red line is that it does drop significantly once the A-League does return. And the purpose of the study is to find out why. So whether that's a loading issue, whether it's a stress issue, or whether it's just a case of the disrupted microcycles causing this as well. So the analysis. So basically all RPEs, wellness and GPS data will be recorded each day and for each game using Microsoft Excel. We'll put everything into our club-wide database, and that'll help us give us all the information we need. Based on meters run at greater than 19.8 kilometres per hour. Wellness data will be used to see if they had consistent wellness ratings throughout this period, so to see whether that's a factor. And then RPE loading as well. So was there a higher loading pre or was there a higher loading post, and see if that had an effect as well. And then obviously compared to two group means will be used to analyse the group data used by sportscience.org, which can help give us what the information we need. So basically, team average high intensity distance for matches will be used to analyse mean differences between pre and post A-League return. And finally, just a little bit on logistics. So how youth team players are recorded, which we've already covered, 6 weeks pre and post, using the club sports science database, and record all the data using the GPS units and put into the spreadsheets from sportsci.org. Where at a professional A-League club in the academy setting, games are recorded at away fixtures around Victoria as well as at home. All data will be analysed on site using the club software and all their computers. The equipment, GPS tracking system, vest for each player, of course, and a laptop for analysis and data entry. And the time frame, so basically all the data was collected in 2017 during the NPL season in that 12-week period. I had a look at the data last year, and then basically I'm going to analyse it this semester and finish it by the end of semester 1 to submit as part of my project. So basically that's it. So a lot of the work's done in terms of collecting all the data, but now it's a case of just putting it all together and just seeing what the variable was that may have affected performance over that 6-week period. Thank you.